Coming up, learn how the Omaha cycling community successfully delays the removal of a bike lane.
And then see how this local Omaha cafe offers a unique experience.
For 38 years, Vala's Pumpkin Patch has grown into a destination spot for those looking to enjoy the tastes and sounds of fall.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
Residents took to the street last week to keep Omaha bike friendly. Our own Addison Parr says the voices are heard and Omaha officials are dedicated to protecting the city's bikeways.
After a week of backlash online and protests around the city, Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert issued a statement Thursday evening, stating that the protected bikeway on Harney Street will remain in place for the time being. This statement follows a recent decision to conclude the Market to Midtown pilot project at the end of September. Dozens of cyclists gathered in Dewey Park to protest the removal of the protected lane. Speakers and organizers at this event emphasized the importance of the convenience and safety of the lane. Omaha resident Jada Escarcega says that she is proud of her community for fighting for what they believe in.
Count it as maybe like a small victory, but it's not, because we're using our rights to protest and to gather to get what we want, and for once someone actually listened.
Hours after the group had gathered, the mayor announced that the lane will remain in place until the construction of the city's streetcar route begins. The statement, issued on Thursday evening, credited an anonymous donor for preventing the lane's removal. Environmental sustainability graduate student Chloe Neal says that eliminating accessible lanes is not a realistic option based on our commuter culture.
Most of our cities are not designed to be walkable. They're designed with the assumption that all of the community members have a working car and that they'll be commuting.
Neal furthers that we must maintain these lanes for the safety of cyclists, pedestrians, and drivers.
Officials say that the Harney Street bike lane will receive maintenance in the short term, including restriping and new ballards.
The University of Nebraska-Omaha took part in Constitution Week with the goal of getting the UNO campus community involved in the democratic process. Fewer than half of eligible voters aged 18 to 29 voted in the 2016 presidential election. In 2020, this group saw an 11% increase in ballots cast. Senior Paige Blackford encourages her younger track and field teammates to seek help in registering to vote for the first time.
I think it's really important for people our age to vote, so that way we get an accurate representation of what they want in legislature. A lot of people our age want change but don't know how to go about it.
The UNO student government aims to maintain this positive trend among young voters as Nebraska approaches its upcoming general election next month.
America's gross national debt exceeded $31 trillion for the first time yesterday, a grim financial milestone that arrived just as the nation's long-term fiscal picture has darkened amid rising interest rates. The breach of the threshold, which was revealed in a Treasury Department report, comes at an inopportune moment as historically low interest rates are being replaced with higher borrowing costs as the Federal Reserve tries to combat rapid inflation. While record levels of government borrowing to fight the pandemic and finance tax cuts were once seen by some policymakers as affordable, those higher rates are making America's debts more costly over time. There are 1.6 million transgender people in the U.S. Coming out as transgender can be an emotional and taxing process. Reporter Jamie Harvey joins us in Studio A to tell us more.
It's really amazing to see the community come together to make a place like Trans-Stitchin thrive. The whole space is filled to the ceiling with clothes, ready to find homes with transgender people moving into new chapters of their lives.
For transgender people, updating their wardrobes can be an expensive and intimidating necessity. Trans-Stitchin is a no-cost community clothing closet that aims to make that process safer and more accessible. Every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Trans-Stitchin opens its doors to provide gender-affirming clothing, shoes, undergarments, accessories, and toiletries to Omaha's transgender community. The closet was created in 2019 by friends and business partners Grady Schmidt and Madeline Ball. During the wave of pandemic closet clearing, Ball and Schmidt noticed that people were looking for an inclusive place to donate their clothes, so they decided to organize one.
I was thinking back to my own transition and just how difficult it was to get clothing that was comfortable for me, and then not to mention going to stores and being uncomfortable. And it's tough when you're transitioning to financially support that, and we just thought it'd be really cool to have a space where people could just come and shop and be comfortable and get the clothes that felt comfortable for them.
On the second floor of an office building, for one day a week, these two friends create a safe space for trans people to build their closet without cost or judgment.
One of the foundational beliefs of Transition is that everyone should feel loved and everyone should feel important and like their needs are met. And I think that's what we're trying to do here, is let the community know that everyone should have access to clothing that makes them feel comfortable, and they should be able to come to a space where they can get what they need.
Ball says that Transition is going strong and that the closet has a lot of support from the community.
Transition is currently accepting donations of hygiene products and clothing, particularly coats and jackets. The closet also has an Amazon wish list. To view the list, go to shareomaha.com/nonprofit/trans-stitchin and click the Amazon wishlist button. Back to you in Studio B.
Thank you, Jamie. When we come back, a local cafe offers a safe social space for gamers to play a library of board games.
Coming up, how a local Omaha band is using modern technology to produce and share music. We'll be right back.
So this reader won't be on that. That reader's there.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded grass to a full.
IT is so broad that it's not just coding. It can be applied in so many different ways in different areas.
Technology impacts a lot of different things, a lot of different people, and if you can truly put yourself in their shoes and trying to solve that problem, just understanding that why is truly important.
UNO is one of those places where you can come and really get involved in whatever you want.
I ended up taking a bioinformatics class, and I ended up with a MD PhD. I can do both the research and I can help people.
I chose the College of IS&T because it was my dream to become a data manager, and this college fits the best.
They're really the best people to be teaching the classes because they know and have worked in the field.
There's always a people factor, and getting people that are interested in your development is key to your success.
Create your next adventure and travel the world at Omaha's award-winning Henry Dorley Zoo.
There's a unique educational experience right here in Omaha. With access to top-rated programs, in-demand degrees, and a worldwide community of graduates, UNO prepares students for life, wherever it may lead. From Omaha to Italy to Uganda to Japan, Mavericks are working in communities around the globe. So where will a degree from UNO take you? UNO, access to exceptional, access to the world. Learn more at unomaha.edu.
The tumultuous saga of Elon Musk's on-again, off-again purchase of Twitter took a turn toward a conclusion Tuesday after the Tesla CEO proposed to buy the company at the originally agreed-on price of $44 billion. Musk made the surprising turnaround not on Twitter, as he has been custom, but in a letter to Twitter that the company disclosed in a filing Tuesday with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. It came less than 2 weeks before a trial between the two parties is scheduled to start in Delaware.
President Biden is set to meet with Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis today to discuss the state and federal response to Hurricane Ian, a meeting that offers a possible preview of the 2024 White House contest. The meeting takes place in Fort Myers, where state and local officials, including DeSantis, are expected to brief Biden on rebuilding efforts underway after the storm. The meeting will require Biden and DeSantis, who have clashed publicly over immigration, the coronavirus, and other issues for months, to portray a united front in the face of a natural disaster. A result once political observers said could help both politicians.
From Candyland to Catan, tabletop games have risen in popularity amongst young adults. Reporter Michael Dart takes us to downtown Omaha to see how Spielbound Board Game Cafe is taking advantage.
The tabletop market has seen steady growth since 2019. Spielbound Board Game Cafe offers a unique experience within the genre. The board games market is expected to double in size by the year 2028 to a value of $30 billion due to popularity of virtual gaming. Due to its rise, gamers require a safe social space to play. The best accompaniment for gaming is a cup of coffee. This idea developed into the Spielbound Cafe. The cafe offers a large drink menu for players to order from, and an even larger selection of games. General Manager Ali Fariani says the cafe is curated for a gaming experience.
The idea was to provide a place where you can go, you kind of get everything. And if you think about like when you're sitting at home and you're playing games with your friends, you're probably only drinking like one or two things. You know, if you think about all of your gaming experiences, always be those things there. So the cafe just kind of arose as a way to support the nonprofit.
The Spielbound Board Game Cafe is host to well over 3,000 games that you can check out and play with your friends, including 1,000 games available for retail. Not to mention the amazing hot chocolate. Spielbound thrives because of convenience, allowing players to gather outside of their homes without the cost and hassle of finding new games. Travis, an avid tabletop gamer, says we're in the golden age of board games.
Board games are expensive, and they take up a lot of space, as you can see. So, I can only own so many board games, and so when something new comes out, I want to try it before I buy it, or I want to just try it and not buy it.
The Spielbound Cafe currently has no plans to open more locations, instead focusing on creating more events such as demos for players to connect and build a community. Spielbound makes an annual appearance at the NewtCon hosted at the Mid-America Center, where prizes are offered to challenge winners.
The farmers market in Exarban Village is back to full force after having to tone things down the last 2 years because of COVID-19. With over 95 vendors gathered around Exarban Village on Sunday mornings, event marketing coordinator Maggie Witten says things are starting to get back.
Over in Baxter Arena. That's definitely the biggest difference. We also have a full market this year. The past 2 seasons, because of COVID, we did have a limited capacity just because we did have to space out our vendors.
Were able to overcome the summer heat and had their produce ready to be sold. The farmers market in Exarban Village will have its final outing of the 2022 season on October 16th before returning next year in May.
In 2021, over 28% of artists on Spotify who generated over $10,000 distributed their music without the help of a label. Reporter Zachary Hill gives us an inside look on how a local band uses streaming platforms and modern audio editing software to help produce music and gain new fans.
Omaha band The Real Zebos played their second album release show to great success. One True frontman Jordan Gall says it's a lot of hard work, but that hard work pays off.
You're preparing different effects and visuals and lights and coordinating that to your set, but it's really all worth it when a ton of people show up.
While creating an album, artists with a day job like Gall may have it tough finding time and resources to record and mix their songs. Programs like Logic Pro give the Zebos the ability to do it right from the comfort of their own homes.
It's great having all of the capabilities of building entirely fleshed out demos and songs at your fingertips.
You can't book venues like the Slowdown if you're not going to have anybody in the audience. Platforms like Spotify have algorithms that push the Zebos music into pre-made playlists, garnering them more attention.
It almost feels like a gift sometimes when they will throw your song on there, throw you a bone.
Izzy is a fan from Austin, Texas, who stumbled across one of their songs and says they're not only good at getting fans, but keeping them as well.
And I follow a lot of small bands, and they interact the most with their fans, just joking around and commenting under their comments. It's really fun.
Like any rock star, Gall says the dream is to get to a point where he can quit his day job and do music full time. With modern audio editing software, streaming services, and social media, that dream is easier than ever to achieve. For the Omaha News, I'm Zachary Hill.
Says when it comes down to it, the real Zebos want to make good music, but also just be seen as the funny and goofy guys where every show feels like a party.
When we come back, UNO Soccer Club makes a return after a student steps up to make it happen.
Coming up, the NSAA battles with high turnover and poor sportsmanship. We'll see you soon.
For years, the Old Market has been a popular attraction. With its vintage atmosphere and rich history, it's a great way to spend an evening. It has niche restaurants where you can grab dinner, and unique stores you can shop at, making it an exciting place to explore. So come on down and check out the Old Market, located between 10th and 13th Streets and Farnham and Jackson Streets.
I want people to feel comfortable being part of the group. I remember when I was in high school, I was at my most comfortable when I was eating lunch with my friends in the band room. And it was my tribe, you know, it was the people that I liked being around. So I try to facilitate an environment where those students have that tribe, that support system.
For me, it's about understanding the process of communication and what we learn through that process.
So something that you'll find within the School of Communication graduate program is that there is such a rich field of expertise.
I can think of no other discipline where we spend so much time focusing on not just one side of the conversation, but all sides of the conversation.
Not only do you get to work closely with other graduate students that come from all different walks of life, but you get to learn from graduate faculty that take those perspectives and help you grow yourself in a way that teaches you to be an academic, but also lets you be you in a really unique way.
I chose UNO very specifically, not just because I live here, I'm proud to represent here, but because I thought their program offered strengths that I didn't see in other programs.
COVID-19 has interrupted most of UNO's activities, even in the sports department, including soccer club. However, reporter Gaylor Damian says soccer is finally having a bright rebuild.
After going through a rebuild year in the fall of 2019, UNO Soccer Club was forced to go dormant due to COVID-19. In the spring of 2021, when things went back to normal, previous soccer club player Jackson Davis wanted soccer club to come back as well. Since it wasn't happening, he decided to step up.
After a while, I kind of just got tired of waiting. I was like, fine, I'll take charge. So I took the initiative.
Davis became UNO Soccer Club president, and with the important help of his officers, Soccer Club is back in UNO. The fall of 2021 was a rough season. The team and officers were inexperienced and they faced several challenges. Since they were unaware of the competitions that exist for club teams, the team was only able to set up a few informal friendly games. This season, the situation is much brighter. The team had trials, where 44 people showed up. The team is participating in the Kansas-Missouri Soccer League and even received a $3,500 sponsor by Shields.
The team is highly organized this year, and the players are determined and ready to achieve big things.
UNO Soccer Club player Hideaki Arimoto is happy with the seriousness that now surrounds Soccer Club.
Last year was kind of like we just playing for fun, but this year we kind of like more focusing on winning the game, getting better as a team. I enjoy everything here.
For the Omaha News, I'm Gaylor Damian.
The team was invited by Kansas City FC to an MLS match. So far, the club team has won 2 games and lost 3.
The Nebraska Schools Activities Association struggles to find enough officials to cover all the state's high school sporting events. In addition to low recruitment, keeping new officials on the roster is another issue. Supervisor of officials, Nate Newhouse, says several of his referees leave early because of bad sportsmanship, specifically hostility and animosity from both coaches and parents. These are 2 of the biggest reasons he gives for officials retiring their uniforms.
Our focus now shifts towards retention. Our data and data across the country is showing that most new officials quit within their first 3 years.
Newhouse says they have outreach programs and clinics to encourage new officials to get started. They also provide mentorship programs for those who are fresh to the profession.
Coming up after the break, meet the man behind Nebraska's go-to pumpkin patch experience and see how the Vallis family has worked together to keep things running. We'll be back after the break. That's weird.
Explore the historic Blackstone district in Omaha, Nebraska. With over a dozen restaurants, bars, and social settings, you can experience everything the iconic district has to offer. Eat, drink, socialize, and enjoy the day or night here in Blackstone.
The media landscape is vastly different from the past. Conglomeration and consolidation have changed the skill sets required to succeed. Journalists must not only know how to conduct research, interview, and write stories, but they also have to know how to shoot and edit the stories they tell. Likewise, creative media professionals must know how to interview, research, and write the stories they shoot and edit. In the School of Communication, we require students to gain experience and proficiencies employers are seeking. The 2 hardest mediated genres to produce are live sports and newscasts. Thus, once our students are taught the basics, they are given opportunities to improve the abilities at these genres. Capstones 1 and 2 feature the culmination of skill sets. Once students produce the Omaha News, they can use it in their demo reel to show their skills. From here, students can go anywhere.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha's bookstore is home to more than books. The UNO bookstore accommodates all students' needs with phone and laptop repairs at the iFix UNO station or free residence hall delivery. The bookstore, located in the Milevale Student Center, is full of Maverick merchandise. Find sweatshirts for chilly Nebraska days or cozy UNO mugs for every coffee fix. Shop anytime at unobookstore.com.
Family farms increases community populations and also brings families together to grow food for the next generation. Reporter Devin Holcomb takes us to a local family farm to learn what it is like owning a family farm business.
Val's Pumpkin Patch is entering their 38th year of operation on their 400-acre farm. It started out as a simple pick-your-own strawberries garden in the 80s and has developed into an operation that employs more than 1,000 each September and October. The founder and co-owner, Tim Bala, says he loves agriculture and it is much more than just growing pumpkins.
You know, because I'm from South Omaha and, you know, so I didn't grow up on a farm. And my dad was an electrician, my mom was a nurse, and my wife, Jan, grew up in Lincoln. And she wasn't connected directly with agriculture either, but we both had grandparents that had farms in western Nebraska that we just loved going to, and we liked the idea of going to Grandpa's farm, you know, and so we still had that connection to agriculture. And then this was just a good fit. Like I said, gardening was one of the things I liked to do if I wasn't really working, and you know, I didn't have to get paid to garden. I did it because I liked it.
As Tim's daughters got older, there was a concern that no one would be around to take over Vallis, and it would have to close. But fortunately, all three of his girls decided to stay.
You know, Jan and I had 3 daughters, and when I was about 55 or so, I kind of like sat down with them, and we had like a 10-year plan when I would turn 65, and just kind of said that, you know, you have an opportunity to come back into the business if you want to, but we want you to be happy, and, you know, we'll love you either way. And but we were fortunate all 3 daughters chose to come back into the business.
According to the 2020 research conducted by the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, 98% of Nebraskan farms are family farms. These account for 23% of the farm production value. Vallis does not only serve its local customers, but it also makes it special for employees. Sylvia Davis has been working here for 21 seasons, and one thing she loves about Vallis is the family itself.
Vallis are a wonderful family. We are all part of the Orange Farm family here. We have nearly 1,000 employees this season, and it's just a very happy place to be. 8 weeks, and then it's gone on Halloween. Well, since the very beginning, some of the very special attractions have been named after the family members. The first that I remember is Kelsey's Sweet Shop, which is a little candy shop with all kinds of novelty candies. And of course, the highlight this season is Jan's Carousel, named in honor of Jan Valla, our founder.
Jan's Carousel isn't the only thing that's new. Vallis is currently expanding with new attractions, such as the cider mill, which serves apple cider, and there will be more development on the way. For the Omaha News, I'm Devin Holcomb.
What a great story about Vallis, makes me want to go there. Vallis Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard will be open for the remainder of October before it closes until it returns for next year.
That's all for today. Join us again next Wednesday for more news and entertainment in the Heartland.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at UNO, the Omaha News, or find our website for even more news and stories at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the Omaha News. We are Omaha.
The complex was condemned by the city in January for numerous safety reasons.
We are truth tellers and award winners.
They process and recycle approximately 100,000 tons of material.
We are a community of strength and a team of big dreams. We are the Omaha News, where the people are the story.
Nearly 3,000 student athletes competing in 19 varsity sports from 9 institutions. Compete for nationally ranked teams to become academic All-Americans and NCAA champions. Nearly 100,000 students and more than 800,000 alumni celebrate their schools as they rise to reach the summit. The Summit League, where tomorrow's leaders reach the summit today.
It is the longest-running Omaha-based statewide television program on the air today. Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Wyatt, producer and host of Consider This. Now in our 25th season, we wish to acknowledge those who have made this educational journey possible. Our guests, underwriters, student crews, the Knowledge Network, the University of Nebraska at Omaha, and of course, viewers just like you. Thank you for watching.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.